The text on this typewriter is inconsistent and faint. The problem is that the hammers are full of old ink. Today, let's get all that junk cleaned out of there. This is my Smith Corona Galaxie Deluxe. I've actually been wanting one of these typewriters since before I got my IBM Executive quite a while ago, and I never really thought I was going to get one because I wanted exactly this one, a full manual in blue and white, and I found it at Goodwill for $12, and it works perfectly fine. Well, not quite. While we're in the hammer area, I'll tell you a little bit about what I had to fix to get this thing going, but I'm very happy with it. The only remaining problems are that the power space, oh, of course it worked that time, but there we go, did not work that time, is a little inconsistent in the rear, and the hammers on here are really dirty from having been used so much. So today let's just quickly take a look at cleaning the hammers, because that's a very easy process that you can do without opening it at all. All you have to do is just slide this forward and you can take care of that. And, maybe I'll take a look at the power spacer in the back, but that's a bit more complicated. Now, first off, let me show you how I've identified that it is that the keys are clogged. If I type a very, very common letter like lowercase e, we can see that it's very cloudy. The middle part of the E is almost completely filled in, and it's not that great. It's a little faint at the bottom. And the same thing happens with lowercase g. Now, a slightly more complex character like ampersand has a similar problem. It's not fully there, but the punctuation characters like comma, period, colon, slash, dash are all very dark and crisp, and that's because there aren't nooks and crannies for ink to build up around there. They wouldn't have been used as much either, but I'm pretty sure it's because they're nice and sharp. So what we're going to do is just get in there with a toothbrush and a cleaning solvent and go ahead and get that ink out of there. Okay, now before we start, I've gone ahead and typed out all of the characters here, and once I've cleaned everything up, I'll go ahead and retype them right next to each other so we can compare the before and after. Now, to clean these, I'm going to be just using plain water and a toothbrush. I'm just going to dip the toothbrush in there, get the excess water off of it, then raise up the hammer I want to clean and separate it with a paper towel so it's not possible for it to get water everywhere, and then just gently brush over it for a while until I'm happy that all of the ink has been removed from it. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this for every single hammer in here until they're all clean. I'm at about the halfway mark here at H, and you can very clearly see the difference between the side that I have and have not worked on. Yeah, I'm making a big difference here. Whew, all right, there we go. All nice and clean. Now let me type out every single one of them and see what a difference was made. All right, so the top row is dirty and the bottom row is clean for both of these. Now, we've got some better gradient on the numbers over here, but the biggest changes are characters like E, where that was cloudy in the middle and then poorly defined at the bottom, and this one's just nice and sharp all around. O was similar. G was like that as well, and M is also a lot sharper. Now, I will also admit that I cleaned the Cent and At key before I typed this out. That gives us a control to see what the difference was, and also that was just so I could test the cleaning before I actually did the whole keyboard. But there are a few other areas where we can see some big improvements. The pound symbol, the $sign are both really good. The asterisk is a little bit clearer, not as much as I would have guessed. The quarter and half characters, I think they're just a bit too fine detailed, really. They don't work out that well. And part of that problem's actually the fabric ribbon. So there were some characters, I'm a little far away now, but that you can see the mesh of the fabric in the characters. So there is a limit to the resolution you can even get out of an analog type like this, and that's part of why you would have switched to a film ribbon. The film ribbon does look clearer and cleaner. So, and that's why my executive probably was using that. Not only is it a larger spool on the executive, but it is also going to result in a sharper image. And I think it will actually result in less ink buildup like this because it's not shaking loose off of the fabric ribbon. And for reference, here's some normal typing before and after the cleaning. I think it made a little bit of an improvement, but overall there is still a problem somewhere with this that has to do with the alignment between the hammers and the platen. They're striking too heavily on the top and not the bottom, so it's still somewhat inconsistent. All right, now I want to take a look at the power space problem. So if I just push power space, it doesn't work. Now I can force it into working here. That's what it should do. And I have a suspicion of what the problem is. Now, if I pull this up, this linkage here is what connects to the key. And when you press the key down, it rotates the shaft. And if I pull the shaft forward just a little bit more while I'm holding the key, auto spacing takes place. So the shaft probably isn't getting moved enough. Now, I could go through and clean this and re-oil it, but I don't think that's the problem. Now, this typewriter, when I got it, had N smashed in kind of a lot here, and I spent a little bit of time reworking it, bending back up, and I'm not 100% sure that was the correct thing to do, but the underside all looked really good, so I think it was all topside damage. But I'm wondering if the key here was also smashed down, and that's the problem, because this will bottom out. If I reset this, this will bottom out before it starts activating. I can't push it down anymore. The same thing does not happen with space. So I'm wondering if maybe this and space were both jammed down a little bit. You can see there's more of a lip up here, like they might be supposed to be up there more. Now, if I rotate this and try and get it angled just right for you, down in here, there is a single bent piece of metal that keeps the power space in the correct position. And I'm wondering if maybe that is what was bent, because they could easily bend further back just a little bit without buckling or anything. That would just be normal. And I'm wondering if that could be the problem. So I'm going to poke around here a little bit. You know what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and clean out all of that just in case that's it. I'm not going to have a very good method of this here. All right. Now the problem would be these. There would probably be I should probably clean that out actually, but I'm going to just oil it. This is also cracked, so I'm going to get oil in places I don't necessarily want it. Yep. There we go. Let's see if that does anything. That should have it move a little bit more freely. No, that's inconsistent. Yeah, I'm still going with the linkage isn't quite right. If I do that and then pull on the linkage still. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try bending this up just slightly. So I'm going to be as careful as I possibly can with this. Wow, it really doesn't want to bend, although that might have been it. Yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. So just a bent key. Space is probably bent a little bit, and I can carefully pry that back up so it's level with power space. But that always worked, so Yep, that was easy. That's the easiest repair on a typewriter. Wow. Okay, yeah, that feels a lot more level there too. This side could be a little bit more. Yeah, but I'm pretty certain that was the problem. And I could spend a little bit more time working on, but it doesn't bother me that much, so I'd rather not risk it. But yeah, that was worth doing. I want to show you something that I found really clever the first time that I opened this, which wasn't this time, and that is the bottom plate here. Now, the bottom plate slides on like this. There are, well, actually, that's backwards. There are 2 indents up here for screw mounts there, and then there are unusual shouldered screws that screw in down there. But the thing is, this plate is stamped directly out of the bottom of the typewriter. If you put it in there, you can see that it originally fit in there. They've stamped the bottom plate out of the same sheet metal that the rest of the body is constructed from in such a way that you can just turn it upside down and reaffix it back in place with screws. That's a really clever design. I love stuff like that. That's very well engineered. I really like that. Now, for the non-level striking of the keys, I have a suspicion of what the problem is, but I don't see how I'm going to be able to get in there and fix it on this one, at least not really easily. I'm avoiding trying to take the case off because it's not the simplest process, and I've never done it before, so I know it's going to take me a long time, and I'm going to want to go slow and just take everything in so I don't make any mistakes. But I'm pretty sure it has to do with the shift position. So first of all, here's a fun little fact. Shift keys get their name because it literally physically shifts down the basket of hammers so that the top side of them strikes instead of the bottom side. So there's a fun little trivia for you. And caps lock, it's lock because it locks the basket in the bottom position. So there's some fun little information for you. Now, it's, as I mentioned, very difficult to see on this typewriter, but if we take a look at some footage I've shot from a different video of my IBM Executive, you can see in this area there are these 2 nuts and some little spacers. That sets the maximum boundaries for the shift positions, and I think that has drifted on the Smith Corona here. I think that the positions for the lowercase characters are a little wrong, because if we take a look again at the sheet here, the uppercase characters seem fine. So I don't think it's a universal problem. I'm pretty sure the lowercase characters have been offset slightly. What it is, I imagine, is that the nuts have slowly moved down because of gravity and jostling and just, you know, natural stuff that happens over time, and that this isn't going all the way back up. Now, if I slightly rotate this here, you'll see that there is more space to be had right there. It could go higher up quite easily. So that's my suspicion. I just don't see how you get in there and make that adjustment very easily. I didn't look at it from the bottom. It might be very simple from there, but I don't know. I don't want to get that deep into it, but I'm pretty sure that's the problem. Well, that's pretty much everything I wanted to take care of today. The power space is functional. The typing elements are much cleaner now, and I have a good idea of what's going on with the alignment. I just don't really want to take this whole thing apart. It is involved. It's not terrible, it's just I don't want to do it right now. Eventually I'm going to take this whole thing apart and give it a really thorough cleaning, as if you can look down in there, it's pretty dirty. It needs it. That's not the goal of this video. I just wanted to do a quick little video showcasing a little bit of tuning up of this and, you know, just having some fun with it, because it is really cool. This is still the only manual typewriter I have at this point, and it's just a barrel of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to support the channel, I am on Patreon. But aside from that, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.